God bless my haters. God bless fake hoes. God bless these haters. Cause God only knows that. All I do is get it. 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 So God bless you snake niggas. God bless you snake hoes. God bless you fake players. Cause God don't.
We are back in full effect. Welcome to the comment section. Got distracted. You know, we're having like suffering from heat delusions. I can't even think right now. I'm so hot, but it's okay. It's okay. We're gonna work it out. But thank you guys for joining us. I am your host Shirley Phillips, and
this is Fox Baldwin or Emmanuel Antunes. At my day job.
It depends on which day you catch him.
From 9 to 5, I'm Emmanuel. So after 5 p.m. or before 9, I'm Fox Baldwin.
He is Fox Baldwin, and he's always foxy to me. So whatever.
Exactly.
That's his nickname. We'll keep it that way. But we hope that you guys are enjoying this song. I was just speaking to one of my friends. Like, I'm getting really tired of people complaining about the heat. It's like when it was negative 12 outside, y'all were complaining.
You wanted the heat so bad, right?
You wanted the sun, you wanted the heat, and now it's July. Like, what did you expect in July? But
Exactly.
heat.
It's summer weather.
So people are never satisfied.
Look, people complain about everything.
They
right?
complain about everything.
They complain about an amazing movie like The Lion King, which I saw on Friday. How could you? Like,
Don't tell
I'm not gonna tell you, but I am so happy I saw it.
So thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
So we'll do the
Absolutely.
Siskel and Ebert old school.
Absolutely. The 94 version was great, but I feel like this remake was necessary.
Really?
Especially, yeah. The technology that took place within that 2-hour period was
Really?
just, I cried like 3 times.
So the only thing I want to know, I'm going to
Oh
go
my
see it tomorrow. I'm actually taking some of my girls from Go Girls to see it. But I want to know, did Beyonce bring the Houston accent to Nala or?
She did this weird. She was actually the one complaint that I had.
Oh, no.
Her voice skills were just not all there. And I love Beyonce. I'm a huge Beyonce fan, but it didn't seem believable.
It didn't seem believable.
No, it was like Beyonce trying to put on this African accent for the sake of being Nala,
Are you
and
serious?
it just didn't work for
Oh,
me.
God,
And
okay.
I love the music. Her singing was phenomenal.
Of
Obviously,
course.
there's a new song that they released within the film that wasn't in the '94 version, obviously, but Beyonce's
Damn,
voice. I don't know who her coach was, but they need to do better with her. I heard also that while she was filming The Lion King, while they were all filming The Lion King, they were extremely busy with other projects.
were busy.
She was working on Coachella at the time, so I don't know that she gave it 100%.
She didn't have a lot of time probably to devote
She
to
gave
it.
Coachella a lot of her time.
That's
though,
the first thing that came to my mind because she is like Houston all day.
All day, every day, right? Yeah,
so
but her Houston accent wasn't. It was like a weird African. You'll see it tomorrow.
So now it sounded like
see
she
it
was from
tomorrow.
Third Ward.
Yeah.
Houston, got it.
I mean, it sounded like Beyonce. I couldn't tell it was Nala. It was overall, that was my only complaint about the movie.
Really?
The characters like Zazu, Timon and Pumbaa, I think made the film.
They made the film, so they stayed to the
Their
original
humor was
script, and
yes.
nothing got
Most
added.
of the film was very original. There were a
Okay.
few like lines that you can tell they were trying to make relevant to
to
2019.
2019.
You know,
Okay.
but other than that, the hyenas were scary.
They were
Like,
scary.
in the '94 version, they were funny.
They were funny.
But not in this one. They
Nice.
were pretty terrifying.
I can't wait. The girls are excited. We're going to see it tomorrow. So next week I will report back and I will give
Please
you
do,
my
please
take
do.
on The Lion King.
The British actor that played Scar,
Uh-huh.
phenomenal.
Really?
I thought he was amazing, but I've heard reviews that they didn't think that he did that well.
That he did that
I thought he
well.
was actually one of the better.
Even in the
voice
original,
actors.
Scar was lit. Like,
Yeah.
I felt Scar.
Of
Like, why
course.
can't I be kicked?
Right.
I ain't no hater, but
I wanna be
I
Scar
felt
in
his
real life.
pain. I'm
Yeah.
like, I want to be king.
Overall, 2 thumbs up. I think you'll really enjoy it. It'll bring you back to '94.
Awesome.
I
And
don't know
it's
what
in
you were doing
3D.
at the time.
In 1994, I was actually a sophomore in college, sir. So, yeah,
Good for you.
I was out in these college streets in 94. Were you even born in 94?
I was born already. I was 9 years old.
You were 9?
So I went to see the original Lion King in the theaters,
Oh, gosh.
and it changed my life.
Really? Now, see, here's the thing. I, for a long time, was like the only black person that had never seen The Lion King. I didn't see The Lion King until I was well into my 30s.
What?
I never saw it. I didn't see the point.
What?
I saw it at like 31, 32.
I know, that's a big wow.
And I watched it with my psycho ex-boyfriend, who ironically cried during the film. Like we watched it one night. We were at home, and I'm like, "Are you crying, Negro? Is that a tear coming out your eye?" He was just like, "No, because
Was it his first time watching it, or had he seen it?
He had saw it before,
saw it when he was a kid.
And I guess he saw it a long time ago. And so as an adult, I guess it hit. I don't know, but
no, The Lion King is amazing. It's definitely a lot of people's #1 Disney film of all time.
Dope!
Right.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I think you'll really enjoy it. The girls will enjoy it. If they've seen the first one,
they have.
They will definitely be
did see the
familiar with
first
the story,
one, so.
And the music is great. You'll really love it. I recommend it to
It's
everyone.
Beyonce. Like I don't think I've not loved it.
I mean, the cast is even with Beyonce, in my opinion, with her lackluster performance, it was still amazing. So
I'll let you know next week.
Yeah, please do. Please report back to us.
In other news, somebody has to go back to work tomorrow, and it ain't me.
Yeah, unfortunately, I teach summer school every year. I don't think I've gone a year without working this summer.
Lord have mercy.
And as a teacher, you need that time to just regain your strength as a human back, right?
You need that time.
I've had 3 weeks off, and I've done absolutely nothing.
It's very, it takes a day or two. You'll get back into the rhythm of it, but it's just.
Yeah, I'm struggling even just thinking about the thought of
it.
Just going back.
You know why though?
Why?
Because you're working for someone else.
Oh.
If you were, and this is our topic for today. I usually let you guys know what we're talking about, but our topic today is the importance of having an entrepreneurial spirit in this, especially in this climate that we're living in, where we're pretty much reverting back to the Jim Crow South. People are getting discriminated against for employment, for admissions. Like there's a lot going on, and to me, you can eliminate a lot of the unnecessary stress and anguish by just working for your damn self. And so we're going to be talking today to a young lady who's going to tell us a little bit about how she invented herself and, what made her, leave corporate America and ultimately become
her own boss.
Her own damn boss.
I can't wait for the day when I can just run my own business and be like all the people that I've spoken to who have their own business. It's what everybody needs to be doing.
And there's no way to avoid stress. There's going to be stress in everything that you do.
But if you're doing something you love, I don't think it could ever be stressful to the point of working for
where you want to commit suicide every day. Like I just sometimes, and I hate to
clock in, right? Think about it. Going to work for somebody else, sitting in traffic for an hour and a half. Clocking in, clocking out.
I'm getting stressed out just hearing you. And especially in New York, there's like an extra layer of stress because of the commuting. And it doesn't matter if you drive or if you take public transportation.
It's the worst part of my day.
That's the worst part of your day, and it's happening before you even get to work.
Right. So just the thought of having to do that is driving me even crazier.
We went to an event the other day, and according to GPS, if there was no traffic, it should have taken us about 25 minutes to get to our destination.
Lovely, 25 minutes.
25 minutes is normal.
Average,
Any city, that's average, Ask me how long we had to allow to get to Brooklyn from the top of the Bronx on a Friday.
2 hours.
No.
More?
Mm-hmm.
What time did you make it to Brooklyn?
We made it to Brooklyn at 7 p.m.
And you left?
And we left a little before 5.
That's crazy.
Barely got to where we were supposed to go because there's traffic, there's construction. I personally think it's fake construction. I don't believe the construction is real. I think they have to try to compensate.
I told you what I think it was. I think it's the fact that we are oversaturated with share ride systems. So Uber, Lyft, there's a new one, Via.
There's another one?
There's another one. And I feel like there's a few more out there as well that aren't as popular. But they're out there, and it's too many damn people on the road.
There are too many people on the
are
road.
Also desperate to get out of the subway system. So I would rather pay a $20 Uber than
deal with rats on the subway train.
Yeah, I don't want to deal with people. The heat especially is outrageous at this point.
And it's not reliable.
It's
when
not
I first moved to New York, before I moved here actually, they were like, sell your car. You're not going to need your car, girl. You can take the train. You can take the bus. And I'm like, I was very hesitant because I'm from Michigan where you have to have a car. So I'm like, you know what, fine. I sold my car like a dummy.
And you would take public transportation.
I did it for about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And then I said, to hell with this because it was making me late. I'm doing everything that I need to do to get to the, the station or the stop on time. and it wasn't consistent, it wasn't reliable. And then sometimes if you miss that one train, that throws off your whole day. You might have to wait an additional 20, 30 minutes, you know. So
public transportation here in general, like not just the trains, but also the buses. Can you imagine if you're a single parent, right, and you can hardly make ends meet, and you have to be at work at a certain time?
Yeah, it's a lot.
You leave your house with ample time because you know you run the risk of being late.
And you're getting other humans ready. You got to dress kids and feed them and drop them off.
Do whatever it is, right? And then you still get to work late? What if you work a job that doesn't give you any flexibility? Where you need to be the one opening up the business,
you have to be there on time
to open up a cash register or whatever it is, right?
That's your job.
Can you imagine?
But I think that's the other thing too. You're seeing more vehicles on the street because people are moving further from New York.
It's also so expensive.
Because the rent is too damn high. The rent is too high, so they can't afford to live in the boroughs. And so now it's like, you know what, let me buy a car so I can move to Jersey or Westchester County, you know, to save a little money on rent. And it's causing massive traffic delays to the point now where it's like it's a crisis almost.
Yeah, every day. I thought it would kind of die down in the summertime.
It's worse.
But the other day I was on the highway and I look in the opposite direction and the traffic is at a standstill.
It's at a standstill.
And I feel like it's any which way you look at it. Like side streets are at a standstill. It's bumper to bumper everywhere.
It's bumper to bumper, and then the way the infrastructure is,
our streets are way too small.
The streets are too small, and then everything is at a crossroads. So if there's an accident on the Cross Bronx, that's going to mess up 87.
Do you remember that day of the snow?
Oh God! Please don't remind me.
I mean, it was like 3 inches of, not even like.
Please don't remind me.
2 inches of snow, and the city was paralyzed.
It took me.
I stayed at work until 11:30 p.m. thinking that by that time the snow had started at like 2:30.
Wait a minute.
So I thought 9 hours later, you know, people would be home. There's not going to be any traffic whatsoever. Get in my car at 11:30. There was hardly any snow out. Hardly any snow. It was turning into water at that point.
I'm traumatized.
And I was stuck in traffic for 3 hours outside of Yankee Stadium.
It took me 7 hours to get from the Bronx to Westchester County, which normally is about a 15-minute drive. It took me 7 hours. I was stuck.
You couldn't move anywhere,
I
right?
couldn't move.
What happened if you had to use the bathroom? Because I
did have to use the bathroom.
I had a little like protein shaker bottle, and that's where I went.
That's where you went?
Not once, not twice, like 4 times.
Listen.
Because I had to go, I mean, what? It's ridiculous.
I will say this, though, because my car kept getting stuck because my tires weren't the best, you know, because I'm very irresponsible when it comes to maintenance of cars. My tires weren't the best, so my car kept getting stuck on the hill. So I will say this, New Yorkers will rally together in a time of crisis. Like, people were getting out, trying to help me push the car, and, you know, one guy's like, you know what, I'm going to push you with my car, and then you... So I was impressed with the teamwork, and, you know, but it was
Girl, I saw this woman knocking on every window of every car that was behind her, in front of her, next to her, because she ran out of gas. Right on that, I mean, we weren't going anywhere, so it's not like she needed it, but her car was stuck. And she did not have any gas.
Did she have a siphon?
No.
How was she going to get gas out of it?
I don't know. She was just looking for help, and nobody was helping this poor lady.
Nobody helped her?
So bad. No, nobody helped her.
You didn't help her?
I didn't help her. I didn't know what to do. I was like, girl, I'm trying to get home. I've been at work since
I got my own problems, man.
Yeah,
I can't help you.
I can't. And then when I finally got onto the bridge, there were cars parked on the bridge.
Yes.
People left their cars and just, they were like,
there were cars on
this,
the bridge.
we're walking.
And I remember I called Geico, like, can somebody just come and maybe, like, tow me home? And they were like, ma'am, there's, like, a 5-hour wait right now. Like, bye. We can't help you. I'm like, but I pay insurance every month, and I'm stuck. It's a 5-hour wait, ma'am. I can't.
Everybody was stuck.
I said, but I'm pregnant. I lied. I wasn't pregnant. I said, but I'm pregnant. Ma'am, it's a 5-hour wait.
They should have had a special list of pregnant women. This still would have been a 5-hour wait.
Ma'am, you gotta wait 5 hours. But what if I was in labor? God forbid. Oh my God.
You would have had to deliver that bad boy on your own.
In the snow by myself.
On your own.
I can't. But in any event, we are excited. Because if we worked for ourselves, we would have had to been out in the snow that day.
I would have stayed in my Peruvian home.
At home.
Yep.
Okay.
Or if I had the option of working from home, I would have stayed home anyway. I mean, I don't have that. As an educator, we can't teach kids from a computer at home. Unfortunately, right? But
in 2019,
that should be a thing.
It should be like a virtual, like, teacher classroom, right? They have it in prison. Like the prisoners have the instructors on the television. Interesting. We should invent that.
We should invent that, actually.
They don't listen anyway, so it doesn't matter if I'm there or if I'm on the screen. They probably pay more attention if I'm on the screen because that's what they're used to.
Right.
Interesting. That might be our big break.
I think so, Shirley.
We might be onto something.
We gotta get to it though.
We are
Unless
going
it's
to.
already out there.
It might be already out there.
Probably.
The Department of Education is not here for it, so they're not going for it. But we're gonna take a quick break, and we will be back with our guest, Miss Aziza Lowrance, who's going to tell us how to navigate these entrepreneurial streets so that we don't have to trek in the snow. You know,
we can stay our asses.
We can stay our asses at home in our pajamas.
I mean, really.
So we'll be right back with the comment section. What did the instrument to ask you? How did we do? Yay!
I am a child of war who decided this life for me. I am a child of hunger who decided this life for this war. I am a child of the world. I want to help all over in the world. Must be free, oh Lord. We must unite. 'Cause we are alone, my people. We might be together.
check. Make sure we look.
Got to do a camera check to make sure we are camera ready out here. We are back with the comments section. And I am your host, Shirley Phillips, and this is
Foxy Baldwin. Well, Fox Baldwin.
Foxy.
I can't say Foxy.
No. he is
I
he
don't
and
know
he
what
is.
the copywriting is like. Fox Baldwin.
All right. We got to check that.
Right.
But we are back, and as always, if you want to chime in on our conversations, you are more than welcome to reach out to us on our Facebook page, which is the comment section. You can reach us on Instagram, which is NY comment section. And as always, you can call in at 347-640-3920, right? Call in and give us your feedback. Don't DM me after the show is over. Do it while the show is going, you guys.
That's so annoying.
It's so annoying because it's like, what are you going to do about it now?
But it's so annoying.
I can't help you now, sir or ma'am. It's better to do it.
We move fast.
We move fast here, and we're all attention deficit. So, but anyways, we are here with our lovely guest, Miss Aziza Lowrance. Aziza Lowrance of Butterless Sticks.
Thank you.
Butterless Sticks.
Butterless
Welcome.
Sticks. We butter the biscuits.
We butter the biscuits. I love it. But Miss Lawrence here is going to school us on the art of becoming an entrepreneur or developing your entrepreneurial spirit.
Right.
So we'll just start with, tell us a little bit about how you got started and why you got started.
So, well, I have eczema, and that pretty much was the beginning of like me being conscious of what I buy for my skin, what I put on, what I wash with. Eventually, I like had a knee surgery, and I knew I was going to be, I'll have a scar. And it just led me into the shea butter. Okay. And once I found shea butter, I didn't like how it smelled.
I don't
the
either.
Texture.
I don't either.
I feel like
I don't like it. I can't stand it actually.
So I took some classes. I just dug up the information, YouTube, Google everything, and I started to add fragrances. And that's basically the birth of the business. Once I started making the products and I was wearing my shea butter, people would ask me, what I was using, and I had some neighbors and customers that wanted to buy things.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. How long have you been in business?
That was like 2008.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I had it was 07. The surgery was in April of 2007. That was like I always hurt my leg, my knee.
Uh-huh.
I had 1,000 knee surgeries.
Uh-huh.
But the 2007 was the first, and that's where it all started from.
So what did you do prior to this business?
Prior to the business, I was in banking. I had worked at Citibank. I've also done a lot of customer service. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Cablevision. And
they still around?
Cablevision?
I mean, whatever. I'm not there.
I think so.
They are.
I'm
surprised.
Who I have prior to who I have now. I believe they still are.
But
so you were working for the man.
I was working for the man.
How did that make you feel as a woman, as a person?
I mean, everything. You go to work, you want to make money. That was the whole point. But then when, things start to get like, I don't know, like ethical, like I don't want to have to make decisions at work that, I don't want to be treated like that. Yeah. Or if I'm a customer and I have to buy something, I have to contact the company. You have an expectation of how you want to feel like they value you. Yes. As a customer. So, there's certain things that I couldn't get with. The opportunity came along to just take a package and resign and get out. I'm out. Like, I'm out. I already have a dream. I mean, at that point, I already launched the business. I had been doing business, but I put it on the back burner like a hobby. Mm-hmm. So, but now, I'm okay. I quit the job. That was November. I'm paying bills.
That's a blessing. So, and I tell people, like, in my opinion, it's like everything happens for the greater good. Even the bad things, and it's leading you to whatever your destiny is. Yeah. So, had you not had that knee injury, you probably would still be, I think it's safe to say, probably still be at a job working for someone else just because you didn't really have any sense of urgency probably to leave there.
That's true too.
But
we become complacent.
We become very
because I feel like that is my struggle. Like I do have all these business ideas, all these ventures that I want to get off the ground, but I feel like the security of my job now, the salary that I get, the stable paycheck, income, right?
Talk about it's coming.
It keeps
You're gonna
me
get
there.
that check in 2 weeks. You are miserable. I remember counting the hours. I remember being like, you know, you break it down. You just, all I have to do is make it to lunch. And, you know, in 3 hours, I'll just have 5 hours left. That's all. Like,
that's no way to live,
you know, and stuff like that. And then you're praying for the weekend. And then the weekend comes and you're waiting for the next weekend. And then it's 6 years later. And then you're still there. And then, you know, there's certain things that you just haven't done. You're taking shorter walks with the dog. Like, you know, just things that you're like, wait, you know, there's got to be more to life. There's got to be more.
And that's what the point that I'm at. And I think as you get older, especially when people start getting sick and they start to die off, and you start to realize how important time is. Time is more valuable than money.
Shirley, you know how many times I
said
that to you this year?
What?
So whenever I'm stuck in traffic on my way to work, I give Shirley a call and we have conversations, heart to heart, right? And every conversation consists of me telling you, this can't be it.
This can't be it. This ain't it.
There's got to be more.
This ain't it. There's got to be more. Yeah. So, what would you say was just getting started? Because we know that you started it from a need. You said you had eczema, which is what I advise anybody to do, is start off with a need or something that you're really, really passionate about. You had the eczema. So, what was the hardest part of you getting off the ground, or the biggest obstacle that you had to face?
I just went for it. In the initial moment that I had the need thing, I didn't have like rent and stuff like that. I was young. I was like 20 or something like that. So I was young. So I just was like, I'm going for it. So I started looking up like chambers of commerce. You want to sell something, so let me find out who's buying what. So I went to the Chamber of Commerce. I went to the Bronx first because that's where I'm from. After the Bronx, I ended up at the New York Women's Chamber of Commerce. Shout out to Ben, like he does everything.
Hey Ben, that's my boo.
Ben, like Ben does everything. Kenya, I love you guys. Like, so the Chamber of Commerce is a jewel. Like, they'll be able to guide you. There's agencies and there's help out here and there's free stuff. And if you just, you know, you look around, you know, in Lehman College, they have an office that you can go to. So just ask the questions, like just whatever it is. I guess nothing is a dumb question.
Absolutely.
You know, and whatever it is you want to do, start out with looking at that. I used to look at Carol's daughter and everything, see what she's getting into. She was doing a class. I ran down there. I met her. Like, I took a class. Like, so things like that.
There's two things that you got to hustle. There's two things that she said. She said that she didn't really have a lot of overhead because you were young, so you didn't have the rent, you didn't have the car note. Being young is the perfect time to start, and a lot of these kids don't understand that. Like, do it while you're at home with your mom and you don't have those bills, and you know you can make mistakes and fall on your face, you know, and not be any less off for it. So you also said you did your research of what was out there, and I think a lot of us get a little kind of disillusioned when we say, oh my gosh, you know, there's so many different hair products, there's so many different skincare products, this isn't going to work. It doesn't matter.
No.
Yeah, there's room for you and for what you're doing.
Yeah, of course.
There's so many people on, you know, like on the Explore page on Instagram, you randomly see an account and I'll see a product that I've never heard of. Like I have my business page on Instagram, is skincare. So they advertise to me for other skincare companies and stuff. Stuff I never heard of. 100,000 followers, you know, everything listed that you can buy the product, you can see what's going on, like their history. So there's so many ways. There's, you know, and then maybe you go to a page and somebody you know is following them. So you're like, oh, people know. I don't know. But they're out there.
You could see that.
And there's money. They're getting money. So you have to just try it.
What is it? How many billions of people are there on the planet? Like, come on. There's enough for everybody to eat and make money.
And people like you. People like you. So then, you know, now it's you. Oh, Shirley's got the stuff. Let me check out what Shirley's doing. You know, I've heard of that before, but I'm paying attention now that Shirley mentioned it. Things like that.
They buy.
It's a scary thought, though. Like, for somebody like me.
What do you mean?
Everything's scary.
I can't with him. I am taking over as his manager because I can't with.
I cannot market myself. I cannot market myself. I cannot. I don't know.
You're marketing yourself right now.
You wear glasses. Scared. Like that may be the frame that I look for.
I like see?
You know, or you know, you have a nose ring, like whatever. Everything that you're doing, you woke up.
You're already advertising.
You woke up. My friend is gonna like this, but he says that I woke up. Everything else is on me. Like he thanks God Thank God I woke up.
Is over.
Now the rest is on me. Whatever I make of the day, whatever I make of this life, like, so the moment you step out, like, everything about you is your brand. You're already branded.
This is your brand.
You might as well just be like, well, this is also available to you. You know, whether it's a thing, a product, a service. We're actively doing it now. If you have an account anywhere on social media,
you're branding yourself.
You're selling stuff. You're already doing it.
I started on one of my other pages, like if I have an outfit on, I'm tagging the store.
Yeah.
And they notice when you tag them, and eventually it's like, you know what, would you like to be a brand ambassador? Because we see you wear a lot of Fashion to Vigor, you wear a lot of Fashion Nova. That's how those people get those contracts. And I learned that from one of my girlfriends she's an Instagram model.
There we
go.
She's
making hundreds of thousands of dollars, taking pictures. And she said she just started tagging, you know,
That's
the
smart.
designers.
Yeah.
They notice. They notice. And they will reach out to you.
So it's, you know, it's in our daily activity now.
So tell us a little bit about some of the products that you offer. Tell them the name. It's Butterlistics.
Right. So it's Butterlistics. It's my Show Your Glow skincare. I started with shea butter, so that's my main product. I infuse it with like cocoa butter, coconut oil, mango butter. I have like 3-in-1 butters. It's basically it's skincare for everybody, for every purpose. Like if you have dry skin, if you have eczema or psoriasis and sensitivities of any kind, because you know, that was like my basis. I do stuff with fragrance. If you just like too blessed to be like blessed to not be stressed with the sensitivity issues, you could get your perfume on.
Got it.
So I do have like the you know, cherry and Jamaican fruit and toasted coconut products. But, you know, again, with the sensitive skin, I know it's the struggle. So for people with, like, the psoriasis, for cancer survivors with, you know, sensitivities, for diabetics, get the skin ulcers and things like that. So, you know, I have a line of products. My website is ihealskin.com.
Okay.
And so then I'm on, like, everywhere, wherever you can be. My accounts are always Butterlistics.
And we're based out of New York
City. Instagram, that's right.
She says she's from the Boogie Down Bronx.
You already know.
Support. That's so funny you say that because I didn't realize. I've been blessed with decent skin. Thank you, Jesus. But I didn't realize it was such a struggle. Many people suffer with skin issues to the point where they can't even put on like certain moisturizers, like these expensive brands, they can't because they break out instantly.
Moisturizers, the soap, Dove soap, is something that I can't even use. Like,
which is supposed to be the best,
it is,
you know, for sensitive skin, but
I can't
do it. To each his own.
Yeah.
So what are some other things that you got coming in the near future?
So I also have, like, as far as soap, I have black soap. I'm getting ready to launch my spray. I have some fresheners that I do. They're like, I do organic fresheners for body, house, or car.
Nice.
So I was working on like some wordplay. I think they're misdemeanors, the sprays. Because if smelling good was a crime, we'd be doing hard time.
Oh, I love it. I don't need a felony.
Yes.
Do you have any products for men that are marketed specifically for men?
Specific for men, I have the Brother Butter. So I have, and which is again, it's for, so I have it unscented if you just need the organic version or for the sensitive. And then I also have it scented. It's like, I like cool water. So I started with that, and then I added to it so that it's like, I call it Noor. I think that is Arabic. I'm not sure. But it means light. So it's a light fragrance. I also have, what else do I have with the men? I have amber, Egyptian amber is really good. So just different fragrances, but my men's line is the Brother Butter.
Nice. Brothers,
sounds amazing.
Butter your biscuits just like the sisters.
Weren't we talking about this for me last year?
Let the record show in New York City. I told him there needs to be something for men that needs to be developed because men are into smell goods too, and they have skin issues.
My guys have like sections that their products, their toiletries, and everything that they take it seriously, and they pay money.
They pay good money.
So and the beards, I have like a beard balm. So the beard butters too, like you have to have.
That's very popular today, especially.
Yeah. I'm sure you have something on the side. We have a man right here. You have something on the side that you use specific, either like for your hair or for your beard there.
And he doesn't like cheap stuff. So we know that whatever he makes is going to be top of the line. It's not like cheap stuff. So if you buy from Emmanuel, it will be top of the line, top shelf.
Thank you for marketing for me.
There you go.
I don't even have a product, but Shirley's out here marketing.
Okay, I'll send you the bill.
I'm going to leave you a sample, so if I can get your approval, then I know, like, I'm good to go.
Thank you. I would love that.
So I think we need a break. Yes, no?
Let's take a quick break.
We'll take a quick break.
In the middle of this heat wave.
Oh, my God. We'll be right back. What to say to you?
Are you an independent artist? Well, have it played on the #1 independent radio station, LDM Radio.
back. Thank you so much for joining us, you guys. I'm actually probably getting more out of this conversation than either of the people next to me.
No, I'm getting a lot out of it, too.
Because I'm trying to be rich out here. I don't know what people are
Me
trying.
too.
I can't. I'm tired.
And once Shirley's rich, I'm rich, too.
Listen, that's the type of friend I am.
We all eat. You know?
I make it everybody's eating. I'm not a selfish person. I'm a Pisces. You know how we do. But what we're going to talk about this section, we're still here with our guest, Miss Aziza Lowrance of Butterlistics. Okay. Should we call it cosmetics or do we call it skincare?
Skincare is like Butterlistic Skincare Clinic. Show your glow skincare clinic.
Show your glow. So I just want to, we want to help you guys out with just some quick tips. You know, it's not an end-all be-all, but it's a way to start for those of you that have something that might be burning that you want to do or initiate in terms of a business, or you have an idea that you want to, you know, try to pursue. We just want to give you some quick tips on how you can get your business started. You know, because the hardest part is just starting. You can just get something done, even if it's just picking up a phone and making some contacts. That's a start.
Yeah.
But I do have a little bit of insight because I do run a nonprofit, and it's pretty much the same process, whether it's for-profit or nonprofit. You still have to have the basics in place. So for me, and I don't know if you guys would agree, I would say the first thing is to figure out the idea, figure out the need that you've noticed, and then start doing research on that. Right?
I would agree with that.
You agree?
Yeah, I'd say get somebody, like either a mentor if you have anyone that you may even know in a related business. If not, the New York Women's Chamber of Commerce. They're on Amsterdam if you're in New York. But, you know, just find, or if you're not in New York, you have a Chamber of Commerce. So just go through all of them. If you go to your local chamber and they can't service you the way you need, then find out they have chambers for everything. There's like there's a Harlem chamber. There's like a youth chamber, I believe. So it's not just by location, you know. So I would say that. And
they have a ton of inside resources that don't necessarily get made public. You just have to ask them. Like, you can get grants for just being a woman, for being a minority, for being black, for being Hispanic, for being Filipino. You just have to ask. There's money available. And if it isn't available, they will find it for you. So that's step one, is figure out what your idea is or your passion, and then start doing research on it. Step two, we said, would be to write just a basic business plan. Figure out, is this something I want to do full-time, or is this just something I want to do as a hobby? Am I doing it as retirement income or supplemental income? Figure out what your business plan is, who you are trying to market your product to, what is it that you're marketing, and how you go about doing that. So how did you get started with your business plan, or did you already have that information available from prior experience?
Well, just from the research, I ended up going to the big library on like 34th. There's a business library downtown. So there they had the resources. From there, I wound up getting connected with, like, I think it was SBS, Small Business Services. So like the city that you're in, because I know each one, like the governor has something he offers. The mayor has something that he offers. I know SCORE is like federal, I think. So you could check out what institution, or I don't know what you would call that, but there's always some help. So that's how I did it. I went through SBS.
And you need that in order to even apply for funding, whether it's a loan or a grant. They need to see your business plan, and it has to make sense.
They have classes too, so you're not doing the writing on your own. And then, they have pamphlets that you can basically, it's an outline. So you're almost just answering questions. And then by the time you answer the questions, then you have a format for the actual plan. Then I think the hardest part is the financials, like the projections. So that's the only thing, like, you have to get help with.
The business plan, I feel, is like what turns most people off about starting a business, because every future investor wants to see your business plan, right? But if you don't have one, how do you even get your business off the ground?
And you can't speak to it.
No, they want to see stuff in writing.
They want to see it in writing. That tells them two things. It tells them that you're serious, one, and it tells them that you've thought it out. Nobody wants some fly-by-night, here today, gone tomorrow investment. People. Do
you think there's a requirement for how long a business plan should be?
Like you said, there's an outline.
Keep it short, because guaranteed they're gonna flip through to whatever page, that they're most interested in. If it's going to happen and they'll do business, I'm sure that they're actually going to look over the plan and read it or give it to someone to additionally read it. However, when you pass that plan and it's all heavy,
people have short attention spans.
Remember, this is the age of have your 30-minute your elevator pitch. Have you if you you're just going to see your cousin and you just end up in the elevator with Beyonce. You might have to tell her what you're into. I'm like, yo, B, I got no butter. Yo, B. So you got to be ready for that just in case if you end up, right
that
there.
That is so important.
With Rihanna.
That's so important.
So if you're providing a product, right? That's your business. You should always have a sample of your product because you never know.
Amen.
When you're gonna have your card.
Of course.
Yeah, definitely. If you can have the sample, because if I had T-shirts, I can't have always a sample with me.
That's right.
But always have the card.
That's right.
If you do have something, mine, I do have samples that I can always have. But that's it. Just don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid. And we had one of our viewers that just actually wrote into us on Facebook, and it's imperative that you have no fear. You cannot have any fear or apprehension because this is your life. This is your money, and you're not afraid of money. So why would you be afraid of asking? For help or assistance in getting more.
And that's what separates business people from those that don't do business.
Absolutely.
The fear. It's the fear that gets you out.
It's a mentality, and the more success you have in business, the more aggressive and fearless you become. So each little success, even if it's just making a contact and getting a meeting with someone influential, every level of your journey will make you more fearless. More aggressive. So
right, because you have the experience.
You have the experience.
You're building your portfolio as you go along. You may start out with your short portfolio, but as you get into it, use your newness.
Yes,
that's something that I was like, I'm new. What's up? How can we collaborate? How can we collaborate? What can we do together? Or, whatever it is. So I will use the newness. I think that that's something that's intimidating as well because that you're starting it and you want people to be confident in what you're doing.
Absolutely.
So that is something that can try to hold you back, but I use the newness.
The newness, and people want to know. I remember when I did mortgage financing for many years, and I remember my sales manager telling me, no one cares what you have. They want to know the WIFM, the WIFM, which is what's in it for me. That's all people care about. People are selfish. What's in it for me? Right. Why do I need to help you? How am I going to benefit? And that's where your elevator pitch, that's where your sampling.
What do you say to someone that is willing to invest that asks you that question? What do you say to them? Because how do you project what your business is going to be making? Do you go down the path of money? Is that what they want to hear?
To an investor? Yeah.
To an investor. They
to
just
the
want to hear numbers.
it's going to be the money. That's what they want. They want to know how much are they getting back? When are they getting it back? How am I getting it back? That's pretty much the gist of everything. You're going to write that whole business plan. That's what you're trying to communicate. Those three things. Your projections are going to come from the research that you're able to pull from the library for free.
Absolutely.
All the research that you're about to do for free. You're about to go to Kmart or Rite Aid, wherever.
Well, it took me back to Kmart. Oh my goodness.
I don't know about Kmart, because that's what I was doing. It was like 2000 whatever, so I was running in Kmart, looking on shelves.
I don't know.
Is Kmart still around?
I
think so. I think they're
here. They're there. But right. Oh, that was
you showing my age, ma'am. I'm older than you though, so it's okay. It's okay. Right. I'm way older than you, so it's okay.
But you can get that information on your industry and have some insight that'll tell you where you can make money. You can see what's missing.
That's right. Your niche. What's not around.
Some of the numbers,
What's not there,
That's
and how
the
can
need.
I fulfill that need?
Yes.
Absolutely. You can even start basic with just your friends and family and assess what their needs are. You can do, what do you call it? When you do the interviews with a group of people.
You can do the
Focus
parties
groups, thank you.
too, like at home, like a Tupperware party.
Absolutely.
Like my first customer, we had a guy that dropped off the newspaper, the Post. And my mom, I was making the shea butter, and she put the things on a little, it was really for a plant, but she did it like a table. And Mr. B came in. She was like, we got shea butter. He never comes in, but we were showing him the shea butter. That was my first customer, the guy that delivers my newspaper.
There you go.
So you started out like,
Start with who you know, like your net. It sounds really cliche, but your network is your net worth.
Net worth.
Who is around you is ultimately going to determine.
Get rid of the shady people. If they're negative, don't do it. Like, you're responsible for your energy.
We don't have time for it.
Oprah says you're responsible for the energy that you allow around you.
That's right.
Because everybody is,
right.
we're circulating off of each other.
And be careful of people that are, like, I call them succubus or succubi. They're just taking from you.
Bye after they take
They suck you and then it's bye.
Yeah.
They have nothing to offer. They add nothing to your life. Those are the people that we want to stay away from. Not saying that you can't help your friends, your family that are in need, but it should not be one-sided to the point where you're always asking, I'm always giving, and you're taking. Because immediately you're going to deplete yourself.
Right.
Your energy and your resources. But finances, too, I think is big. That's our next step on this is it's imperative to assess what you currently have. If you are struggling to pay rent, you can't pay your cable bill, you can't pay your car note, then that's a red flag for you. It doesn't mean that you can't start a business. It just means that you might want to get that business together first because you're your first business. I'm Shirley Incorporated. He's Emmanuel Incorporated. So if I can't run that business, how am I going to run a new business, right?
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's rough.
So for someone that's going through that, do you recommend that they start off part-time?
I recommend that they just do the legwork first, the research, and see what's available later. And then clean up your own business first, which is yourself. Figure out what those deficits are, and you can get help with that. Sometimes for free. There are financial advisors that will help you for free if they know that you're a startup. Get yourself together. But lastly, I think it's branding and figuring out how you're going to market your product and to whom. So how did you figure out where your best or where you should put most of your energy in terms of marketing?
Because your business started before the big social media explosion, right? So how were you able to market without?
I was on MySpace.
That's a good point.
Oh,
that was my first page.
Yeah. I forgot there was MySpace and stuff like that out there.
Around that. I mean, it came, so it was right around that time.
Nice.
For the branding, that's where I was like in Kmart. I would look on the shelf and look for products that I thought were more similar to what I was trying to sell, any type of butters or anything. So that was it. It's looking at your competition. That was how I kind of started my branding, to figure out what I wanted to get into. I understood about integrity of your product and certain things that you want to protect.
Absolutely.
You can always do co-packaging. Sometimes there's situations if you have a product that somebody can do it for you, and they have drop shipping now. You don't even have to have an actual business. Just put up a website and sell stuff.
Absolutely.
So you don't even have to really be business so creative.
Not at all. And this is what I tell. We take so much for granted here. At a click of a button, you can do what 10 years ago, it probably took her weeks, maybe months to get accomplished. You have to use social media.
This stuff now,
to its best.
It's different.
This is different.
It's a new day.
It's a new day, and we have to start capitalizing on it. How did you determine the pricing of your product? Where do we start with that?
I did it with. So that was a part of looking on the shelf, right? But then after that, so I started out with, I was selling things for like $10, and it wasn't selling too much. So then I had a meeting with the guy from Walgreens. He said that, you could get it on the shelf, but you can't sell. He told me I was selling it too cheap. So then I was hustling. I'll hit the beauty salons or whatever. You might see me in your beauty salon, in your barber shop. Just know it. I'll be in New York, New Jersey, Syracuse, Utica. I'm out here. So next time I went to the beauty salon, I didn't do $10. I said it was $15.
That's right.
And people started buying it. The same ones that wasn't even looking at me when I was $10. Then it was $15, and they were like, "Oh, give me 2." I don't know. Like, it just depends on, because at the end of the day, it is a quality product. Like, I'm telling you how organic it is.
That's right.
You're telling me your problems that are bothering you the whole time. These are grown people in their 20s and up. So if I'm fighting with something for 20 plus years, and now you come with this jar, and you telling me it's just going to fix it all, and all you want is $10, maybe that's what it was. I don't know. But that's me making it up.
I think there's a psychology behind it. It must be
something that has to do with numbers
this
too.
Is really a good
it's the numbers.
Walmart, for example, is successful because their products end in like a 7.
Yeah.
So 97 cents instead of $1. There's something that does.
You're still paying $4, but
you're still paying exactly. You're only getting 3 cents back, but to the average person, that's more appealing.
It's more appealing
because you feel like you're saving. You know.
You don't want to put 20. You want to put $19.99.
Exactly.
That's right.
And it changes how I. Yeah.
It's only $19.99.
It's only. It creates a mood.
We're almost out of time. We got to wrap this up. But what I would like to leave you guys with is rule number 1 in any business is ABC, which is always be closing. You're selling 24 hours a day. In your sleep, you should be thinking about how you're going to sell something as soon as you wake up.
Yep.
Everybody that you meet is a potential customer, and have no fear. Have no fear in selling yourself. But we are out of time. Thank you so much, Aziza.
Thank you so
happy to be here.
Tell them where they can find you.
I'm on Facebook, Butterlistics. I'm on Instagram, Butterlistics Skincare. I'm on Twitter, Etsy. I have a shop on Etsy. So, and then I'm also, like, if you Google it, you'll be able to see different events if you Google Butterlistics.
Got it. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Please stay hydrated.
Oh my God.
In this heat.
Yes. It's imperative. Yes.
It's imperative. It's critical.
And take care of your skin by purchasing some of the
Hydrate that
products.
thirsty skin.
Exactly.
Don't be ashy. It ain't classy.
Thank you so much. We'll see you next week on the comment section.
Bye.
Bye.
Stay hydrated.
God bless my haters. God bless fake hoes. God bless these haters. Cause God don't need no sad. All I do is get it. All I